Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. All right. Long-awaited arrival of the little Unbed object that I bought for an alarm clock that forces you out of bed. Just for the sake of this specific episode, the reason why I got this is so that I don't have to use any kind of mental fortitude or willpower or discipline in the mornings to get myself out of bed, because that is hard for me to do. Because I just like to sleep, and I have no hardcore alarm. I don't have to wake up at any specific time to be in a specific place and face consequences. So I don't like the thought alone that I now work for myself and I can't get out of bed for myself, but I can get out of bed for a company for a job that doesn't give a fuck about me. It's just weird, but it is what it is. So if I can just get the fuck out of bed within seconds of my alarm going off and then not go back to bed, I think that'll be a superpower. Because currently what I do is I go to bed, and I've been really good about it, around 10 to 10:30 the last 4 or 5 days now. And I set my alarm for 5:30 because if I go to bed at 10, I wake up at 5:30, 7.5 hours of sleep. So I'm cool with that. And an earlier start would make me feel 10 times better, because as I burp in your ear, great start. If I wake up at 5:30, start working, the idea with this thing is I'm going to start working at 5:45-ish. And then, by the time noon rolls around, I've already got 6 hours worth of work, which right now, that's technically all I'm required to do per weekday, I should say, because Trey's 2 hours, Dawson's 2 hours, Mina's 2 hours. And then from 12 on, it can be whatever I want it to be, which is exactly what I want it to be. I want it to be whatever I want it to be. The fuck am I saying? I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to be at the mercy of somebody else's schedule. I want to build my own shit, because the sooner that I can build my own shit, the better. And I will say that I have been grinding away at this system. I'm making this check-in system right now because Trey wants it, but I need to make it anyway. And because that's pretty much all I've been doing, I've made so much progress on it. But anyway, going back to why I got this. I don't want to use willpower in the morning. I don't want to use any kind of anything. I just want to have this get me out of bed. And so I'm going to give a quick review on what I've discovered with this so far, and then I'm going to kind of talk about what I was just talking about. So a little out of order, but it's called Unbed. Unbed, one word, Unbed. And what it is it's an alarm so hold on. You download an app on your phone. It's an alarm. You set an alarm. Your alarm will go off in the morning, and the only way to turn it off is to physically scan or tap to pay your phone to this block. So the idea is you put this block not on your nightstand, so you have to get up out of bed to turn it off. And the idea would be to put this somewhere where you have to walk far away from your bed, or put it where you want to start your day. So for some people, it might be putting it near the shower, or putting it literally right behind their toothbrush, so they wake up to start brushing their teeth. Or maybe they put it in their running shoes, so by the time they take it and they scan it, they're at their running shoes. You may as well get them on. Or in their gym bag. Or in my case, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this downstairs somewhere, just so I have to go downstairs and kind of wake up and do stuff. I might even put it in my office, so that way I just come in here and sit down. And that way I would literally start working at 5:30. I would wake up at 5:30, and I would also start working at 5:30. And matter of fact, I'm going to do that. Tomorrow I'm going to try that out. I'm going to put it here, and that's what I'm going to do. So there are quite a few cons to this. So lots of pros, but there's a shit ton of cons, and they're borderline deal breakers, and it's very unfortunate. So much so that I sent these people an email because it's almost. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure making something like this is not an easy design for software, but nonetheless, there's some basic features that are they're overlooked and they're missing. So, for example, how you set an alarm is you have to. So first of all, you go into the app. There is 2 tabs: alarms, and then there's bedtime. So alarms, it just has all your alarms. You create an alarm, but you don't turn on the alarms here. You just make them. So you have I will say though, real quick, if I go in here, the alarm sounds are pretty banging. So I'm going to play some of these. Okay, not bad. I'm just going to fall back asleep with this one. And then there's diamonds. Nice. And then we got final boss. Fuck this one. Fuck this one. Then we got first light. Flowers. It's like some Mario Party shit. Then we got fresh. What did I just say? Fresh start. Golden hour. And this is your doorbell. Matrix. Out of reach. Party next door. Quacko mode. Skyscraper. Soft ride. Subliminal. Sunburst. Supernova flare. Wake up. White air. And then white air V2. So anyway, I share those because that's fucking sick. Because I'm so over these stupid ass things that Apple's made. Now, the last update that Apple did with all the ringtones and whatever, those are great. I love those. But everything before that, I mean, we have a car horn. Auga. I'm not waking up to that, dude. Or the alarm. Like the... Dude. Nah. So anyway, pretty cool that it has alarms like this. Now here's for all the shitty things, and there's a lot of them. So you create an alarm in the first page. You cannot turn it on. You can't turn it off either. So how you set an alarm, you turn it on, is you go to the bedtime tab, and you select one of the alarms that you just made, just one. You select one of them, and then you click the big schedule button. You click the schedule button. This is when you scan your little tablet thing. When you do that, it pops up with 2 things. You got X out of both of them. That one's just saying, hey, it was complete. Second one is saying, hey, it's scheduled for this time. That's how you turn on an alarm. But it only turns on one alarm. Okay? So if I want to have, weekends, I wake up at one time, and then weekdays I wake up at another time, I'm going to have to schedule those with 2 tap to scan, tap to pay, whatever, with this app or whatever you want to call it. I have to do it twice. Now, here's the even shittier thing, which defeats the whole purpose of a. This is so illogical to me that it's just so frustrating. If I set an alarm and I say I want it to go off every day of the week, every day at 5 a.m., for example, it'll say, yeah, it's going to go off every day. However, when it goes off, it turns off, and the only way to turn it back on is to scan the little brick thing again, and then turn it on. So that defeats the entire purpose of a recurring alarm, because imagine you have a customer that pays you on a recurring billing cycle. How shitty of a system would it be if after every payment the subscription turned off and you had to turn it back on again so that you ensured that you got your money? That's a flawed ass system, and that's stupid. If I set it to recurring, then it should be recurring. Okay. So that's the first thing. It's damn near a deal breaker. So what I did, rather than setting an alarm to be recurring every day of the week, I set 7 alarms one for every one. They're all for the same time for every day. So that way, when Monday goes off, it'll turn off. But that way, if I forget to turn it on, I still have Tuesday that's on. And that's just a flawed system. I hate that. So, and the reason why it's a big deal, like why is it a big deal? Why is it a big deal to have to turn it on before you go to sleep at night? Is because you have to scan the brick before you turn it on. And if I'm doing that right before bed, it's not going to be in my bed. It's not going to, I'm not going to do it while I'm sleeping at night or while I'm getting ready for bed. Because usually what happens, probably like 95% of the world, is you're laying in bed and you're about to go to sleep and you're like, ooh, let me check my alarms while you're in bed. So that way you can just turn it on, close your phone, put it there, and then you're good to go. But with this thing, you have to scan the brick. That's not a problem. But the idea is that in the morning, this brick is somewhere that gets you out of bed, meaning you have to remember to do this before you get into bed, which I never ever set an alarm unless I'm about to go to sleep. So that's going to be something for me. But that means I'm going to have to, if I put it downstairs, I'm going to have to go downstairs to turn on my alarm to wake up tomorrow and then go upstairs to then wake up the next morning, go back downstairs, turn off my alarm, which is the purpose. It's the whole point. But if I want to turn on the alarm again, I'm going to have to scan the thing a second time for the morning. And then like, dude, I don't want to, fuck all that. That makes me not want to use this. Like, and it's not like I'm asking for too much. I just want to be able to turn on my alarm. And then let me just turn on my alarm from my phone. So the other very shitty thing is that the app has to be open. You can't, swipe up and then get rid of all the apps. It has to be open. Matter of fact, if I swipe out of it, I'll get a notification. I don't know if it'll do it instantly. I guess maybe it's not going to do it instantly. But I don't think it'll go off because I got a notification that said, "Hey, it's not going to go off because it's not open." So not only do I have to go somewhere physically to turn on the alarm, but I have to make sure that I don't exit out of it. And I think if I exit out of it, no, we're good. Okay, thank goodness. So let me just see if I can just create some bullshit for 9:20 p.m. because right now it's 9:19. Set an alarm. Let's get rid of this. Oh, I didn't even turn it on. See? So stupid, dude. I have to go in here, go to bedtime, choose my alarm. I didn't even schedule it for any days. So let's do today's Monday. Let's go Monday. Bedtime. Let's go Monday, 9:20. Schedule it. Beep it. Okay, it beeped. We're good to go. Added successfully. Now if I exit out of the app and I close my phone, we'll just wait till it's 9:20. Oh, it's 9:20. Okay. So it's 9:20. I got a notification and it is literally saying alarm, alarm, alarm. But nothing's going off because I closed the fucking app. I don't know if you can hear this. Maybe you can hear the vibration. I don't know why I'm weird, dude. Couldn't you hear it vibrate? So now that it's going off. Oh, interesting. Did it just stop? Oh, it's still going off technically. Oh, wait. No, this is a stupid system, dude. I can mute it with my... Uh-oh, did I just find a loophole? I just found a loophole. Okay, so if I want to go in there and shut it off, I have to click stop on this thing. Dude, did I just find a loophole? I'm going to be so upset if I did. Okay, we're going to edit this alarm to be 9:22 p.m. I want to see if I can, so with it still being open, so what I did there was, first of all, I exited out of the app, but it wasn't making noise. But I turned off my notifications, or I turned on the alerts, so that way I could hear noise. And I wonder if I can do that while it's going off, because one of the things that I was wondering about is, I guess this episode is the Unbed review episode, but I was wondering, like, what if, like, how is this good for, somebody who's living in a house with people? Because if you have to physically take your phone to a location, you're just going to be, blaring your alarm through the house of sleeping people. So how does that work? And how it works is there's a button, you click mute, but you can only mute it up to 20 seconds, and you only get to do that 3 times. After that, it just keeps on making noise. So the idea is that you get out of bed and maybe you're crazy and you put it like outside in your car. I don't know. You're going to walk across I don't know. So the idea there is that you mute it so that way for your walk to go shut it off, it's not making noise. So that's smart. Okay. So it's 9:22. Nothing's happening. What? Why? So did I even turn it on? Didn't even turn it on, dude. Great. Why is it so hard to turn on an alarm, dude? See, bullshit. So let's go over there. 9:23 p.m. Schedule. I think it's because my phone case just has a hard time reaching the fucking thing. Alarm successfully scheduled. Your alarm is now scheduled to ring. Okay, 9:23. Okay, it's turned on. Okay, let's try this again, dude. Okay. So now let's see if I can mute it. I can't. So that's the loophole. You have to make sure the app is open because I cannot turn it off right now. It also just spams your fucking phone with notifications. Okay, I can't even turn this motherfucker off now. See, that's good. I don't want to be able to turn off that. They nailed this part. So now I click stop, go over to the little thing, turn it off. Now it's off. So that, they killed that part. It's so annoying. You can't turn it off. You just can't turn it off. So that's fucking awesome. So they killed that part. Everything else that I mentioned, dude, they got to get that shit fixed. I don't want to use this. I don't want to use it because, I don't know. I don't want to have to make scheduling my alarm something that I put on my calendar. You know what I mean? What the fuck is that? Every Sunday night, I'm going to have to put on my calendar 10 minutes. Schedule alarms for the week. That's some bullshit, dude. That's so much less enticing than just using the iPhone app and then just, new alarm, 5:30 a.m. every day, recurring. And it will never turn off ever. Don't even have to have the app open. Now, I'm sure this is a hard thing to code, and so I get it. And props to them for bringing this to market because the concept is fucking awesome. I mean, I saw it and bought it. I bought it on the spot, I should say. But anyway, there's my little review. I'm going to try it out tomorrow, see how it goes. It's currently set for 5:30. And I wonder if I would just feel better if I actually got out of bed within seconds. Because there for a minute for my Blade 1. Yeah, it was Blade 1. It was the hardest one I've ever done. I've only done 2, but goddamn, it was hard. One of the tasks I chose was I had to get out of bed within, was it 1 minute or 5 minutes? It was 5 minutes. I had to get out of bed within 5 minutes. No, wait, no. That was phase 3. No. I don't know. One of the tasks I had to do was get out of bed within 5 minutes of my alarm going off. If I was in bed, yeah, it was Blade 1 for sure, because I failed to do a lot. I had to get out of bed within 5 minutes of my alarm going off. If I didn't, I failed. If I was still in bed, I failed. And that's just so fucking hard to do for me. So I'm sure that this little thing is going to be helpful in getting me out of bed. And I wonder if I'll feel better getting out of bed within seconds of getting up, or of waking up, I mean. And I also think the more I think about it, the more I would like to put this either. I think what I'll do, I don't know. I think I'm overthinking this. I just need to put it somewhere where it's going to, I should put this right where I'm sitting. I should put this right here. So that the only way that I can get to it is I come over here, sit at my desk, and I'm sitting in the chair. So maybe angle it in such a way where I'd have to sit down. I don't know. But yeah, so going back to how I started the show, I'll go to bed at 10:30, 10, wake up. I'll set my alarm at 5:30. Alarm goes off, and I'm like, fuck that. And then I go back to bed. And it seems like I go back to bed, and I'm asleep till 8 or 9. And so, I go back to sleep. I wake up at 7, and then I kind of lay there. And then maybe, 8 o'clock, 8:30 rolls around. Sometimes it's 9. and then I'll get out of bed. And I just think with what I'm doing right now, currently, with what I guess what I'm trying to do, I think that I am just taking advantage too much of the time that I have. And, what I meant to say was I'm taking advantage of the fact that I don't have to wake up, and then I can sleep in, and then I quotes, have time to do that. But I think I'm just at a point now where I don't think I can actually afford to do that. Not like that I'm now realizing this, but I just don't think that I can afford to do that anymore. I think that I really need to take advantage of as much time as possible per day, because getting, if I start work at 9 versus 5:30, that's a 3.5 hour difference there. 3.5 hours is fucking game changing. If we just call it if we just say I'm getting $32 an hour at 3.5 hours, we'll just call it $100. That's a difference between $3,000 per month right there. If I get paid $100 a day for 30 days, right? So it's like, it's funny because when you put it into the context of that, or the frame of that, somebody came up to me and they said, hey, you're going to wake up, you're actually going to get out of bed when you say, and you're going to make an extra $3,000. Would you do it? I think everybody would. Especially when you know that you're going to make that extra money. And that's why people don't, because they don't know they're going to get so I get it. But anyway, so I'm really excited to try this out. I'm not excited to, maintain it being on, because that sounds like a shit show. And maybe it's not that big of a deal, but when you're spoiled with an app that allows you to press one button and have an alarm go on forever, it's like you press one button, it turns on forever. It'll never turn off unless you turn it off. This, you can schedule it for whatever you want, but it's going to turn off after the first alarm. That's stupid. And yeah, it's stupid. I also have to keep in mind that the name of the goddamn product is called Unbed. And so they probably didn't develop this for any other reason than to get you out of bed. And so I've seen people talk about how they want to have it for a one-off alarm, or, maybe they want to have it for, I don't know. They want to have a one-off alarm that isn't recurring, in which case I don't even know what the fuck that means with this thing anymore. But, to go to the gym or to go outside and go to I don't know. But it's an interesting concept, because you first have to place this where you want to go. And it's funny because if you're going to place this where you want to go, like, you're already there. And in the context of like forcing yourself to go to the gym, you're already at your gym bag. I don't know. Some of the logic is flawed, but I think it's a great concept, and I think it's very cool. So anyway, I'm going to give it a shot tomorrow. I'll let you guys know how it goes. And I'll just end that there. I'm done talking about it. Anyway, so I had a Zoom call with Dawson today. It was great. I recorded it, so I'll post that here. He is happy with how things are going, understands that, with the limited time, things get done when they get done. It takes time, all good. And he's just very easygoing, and I'm just glad that we have, I guess, been able to go back and forth civilly with no issues. And I would like to also acknowledge the fact that I almost pieced out from Trey and Dawson to take on Riley. And I'm just very, very glad that I didn't do that, because I just think the network that I'm in, being part or being affiliated with Dawson, is just very valuable, given the fact that he is in direct talks with Brian and Cole every day. And also that he is in Kelowna, which is where Brian and Cole are, Canada. And he's also, he knows a lot of other online coaches that he says are doing at least $40,000 a month, and they need help with systems. And $40,000 a month is the exact type of coach that I'm trying to target, because if they're making $40,000 a month, the chances are that they could afford what I'm trying to sell. High ticket is likely. And, if he has, we'll just say 5, if all 5 buy it, then that's $25,000 that I made in, 5 hours worth of phone calls. So $25,000 made in 5 hours, whereas normally 5 hours would get me $150. So it is an insane, it's 100, it's 1,000, it's more than 1,000. What would that be? 100x would be, I don't know. Whatever, dude. What I'm trying to make here is that I think it's just that that whole saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I don't know if I believe in that. I think it's both. I mean, like, it doesn't matter if you know everybody. I mean, you got to know some shit, you know. If I knew every possible fitness coach in the whole world possible that was doing over a certain amount, who gives a fuck? I have to know how to build it and how to help. You know, it's just, I don't know. But anyway, I do think that in this context, it is definitely helpful that I know somebody who knows people that I can help. But anyway, another thing that I want to point out is that Dawson has said, hey man, so if I have this, what about this? And it's like, oh dude, I never thought about that. And in this specific example, it's I made a business expense tracker that tracks recurring monthly expenses. But what about those one-off expenses that are just for the month and that's it? How do you track that? And I was like, dude, that's so simple. Why didn't I think of that? You know, because not every expense is recurring. Sometimes you just pay a one-time fee. It's all good. Sometimes you pay a fee that just happens, I don't know, 3 times and then it's done, like a split pay payment, you know? So I need to account for that for sure. That's what I need to do. And so I need to make a one-off business expense tracker. So that's just one more thing that I have to build. And it's going to be interesting trying to factor that into the totals because they're just going to, the thing about it is they're going to have to remember to clear certain things off with time. Otherwise it's going to stay there and get factored into the next month. And so that's just more shit that I have to think through and figure out the automations and the logic and the reasoning and the if, ands, buts, if, then, else bullshit, and then make sure that it works like someone might want it to work. Another thing is that when we were on the Zoom call today, I had something built out, and what he saw on his screen and what I saw on my screen, slightly different, but what he saw was unusable. What I saw was perfectly usable. It was just slightly different. And so knowing that, I now have to keep that in mind and make sure that nothing is squished, nothing is, you know, like for example, I have 5 columns in this renewal follow-ups. One column is for 90, next is 60, 30, 14, and then one is for if they don't have an end date. So there's just 5 lists of people, but with each list, there's 3 columns in those columns. So there is actually a total of 15 columns. And for me, I can see all the columns, no problem. But for Dawson, for example, he definitely has a smaller screen, so he can't see all of them. He can see all of them, but it's squished, so he can't see all the info. And so therefore it's unusable, and it'd be a shit show if I charged $5,000 for this and somebody couldn't even use it. So I'm glad that I saw that, because now I'm like, fuck, I guess I need to keep in mind that the resolution changes based on screen size, or I guess resolution of the Notion templates and the table, not the templates, the tables and the database, all the shit is relative to the screen size. So therefore, I'm rocking almost a 32-inch monitor, 2 of them. So it's going to be nice looking for me because I got a lot of real estate here. If I put this down on my laptop screen, it's actually better because my laptop screen right now is set for a higher resolution than my computer monitors, I believe. See all properties. I also got to see kind of how Dawson operates, like what he clicks on, what info he's trying to see. And then by clicking, so I can see, he'll tell me like, I'm going to go over here and click on this. And then I can see how he tries to navigate to that. And even seeing that, I'm like, oh, you know what? I need to fix that. I need to make that look nice because it looks like people will click on this. So I think what I really need to do is I need to cover all bases top to bottom, because certain people work in certain ways and other people work in other ways. And the workflow and the systems and the thought process and the whole thing just needs to be intuitive. And what I mean by that is it just needs to make sense from wherever or however you use this. And the only way to do that is to really just cover every base and make it look nice, make it common sense, make every button very easy to understand what the fuck it does. So rather than some header that says, or some button that says some bullshit, it's got to be like return to main menu rather than like go back. And it's just small things like that I think will make the biggest difference. So there's that. The other thing is I had a Zoom call, I had a Zoom call with Mina, the team today. I was driving, so I didn't get to record it. But pretty much what was said was, Mina was talking about getting Notion rolled out. He said, hey, when's the status update? When can we get that going? And it's kind of a frustrating answer because it's like it's been ready to go for a month now. But I don't want to say that and then undermine Mina because Mina's been saying that we're waiting on me. And so for me to throw it back at him, it makes him look like a piece of shit, and I'm not going to do that. It's actually one of the 48 laws of power. That's truthfully what goes through my head, in case anybody's wondering. But also, it's unnecessary to even say that shit. Mina's a great guy. Why would I do that to him? I gain nothing by that. I don't give a fuck. But the truth is, it's been ready to go for a while. What the fuck is all this noise, dude? You guys for sure heard that. I know you did. Boom. Oh, it's garbage night. That was a garbage can, for sure. Anyway, so he said, when is it good to go? And since we agreed on the fact that we're just going to put it in now and then we'll update everything else later. Yeah, it's good to go. So all I said was, yeah, it's good to go. We're just going to implement things as we go. And we'll probably have to have Google Sheets and Notion running for the time being until everyone is done with onboarding. Then once everyone is done with onboarding, then we'll implement everybody into Notion, and then we'll be all caught up and they'll be good to go, and then we'll all be Notion. And he said, yeah, so invite everybody today or tomorrow, get everybody going. And I was like, oh, I think you have to do that. And he says, no, I think you can. And so why don't we figure out right now if I can? Let's see if I can. So if I go to the workspace, go to settings. So create your portrait. The fuck is this? So if I go to people, add members. Type or paste in emails below separate comments. Your workspace will be billed by members. Okay. So I guess I can. Okay, I guess I can. Security. Members and guests. Allow members to request adding guests. Allow members to request adding other members. Interesting. Well, anyway, I guess I'll do that and get people going. Damn, it's some responsibility, huh? Hover cards. Okay, well, I'll have to do that tomorrow. So tomorrow might be a bigger day for me because I'm going to have to set people up on Notion and get them going. But the thing is, man, I don't want to do that if everyone's not ready to go. So I almost feel like I need to, or what I meant to say was people in Notion are not ready to go. So I almost want to put in everybody that I can now. And then, because I can make a button, an automation that does that fairly quickly. There's a lot of missing data, and we'll be able to see it when everything's in there. But it's going to be a headache, and it's going to cause a lot of what the fuck is going on, you know? I named a property IDKWTF. This is bro, also known as I don't know what the fuck this is, bro. I'm funny, but I think what I need to do is implement everybody into Notion. And when I say everybody, I mean all the clients. And then sort them into groups of 30. And then get all the necessary information. Have the coaches gather all the necessary information. So that way we can get some reps in Notion and we can do this together. And then all the clients will have all the info that they need. I think that's the best because if we have 6 people doing this, almost 200 clients, you know, that's 35, almost 35 clients a person. I feel like that is an hour and a half of work. And I think that would be the easiest. And I think it would be the biggest bang for everyone's buck because everyone's getting reps in on how to do this. They know where to click. They know what they're looking for. All that shit. So what goes through my head is like, yeah, that's genius. I want to do that, but I only have 2 hours to do it. So I probably can't. The other thing actually is that, how many times have I said the other thing this episode? God damn. Hey, ChatGPT, when you are doing this summary, please put at the very bottom of this entire summary how many times I said the other thing is, so that I can count if you catch this. If not, all good. Put at the very bottom, please. Thank you. Okay, so we'll see if it picks that up. For anybody who doesn't know, all the captions are generated by AI. I type only a few things. I just put the transcription the transcription of the episode into ChatGPT, and it summarizes all my shit. And so then I just copy I gave it a prompt. The prompt is in a project, so I never have to type it more than once. And so all I do is I open up ChatGPT, paste in the transcription, and it gives me exactly what I want for the most part. And then I just copy paste. And so what used to take me probably 20 minutes, now it takes me 30 seconds. And that's fucking awesome. So anyway, so what I was going to say before I corrected myself was that Mina allowed me to work 5 more hours this week. And, that's great. It's just an hour extra per day, but, it's more money. So that's great. So $150 more per week. Now, I don't know if it's going to last a full month, but if it does, that's $600. That's cool. Here's the other thing. Dude, I said it again. Segueing to a new topic, Trey said that my hours are cut to 10. And then over the weekend, he said, get the check-in tracker done. And I have definitely spent 10 hours on that sumbitch. So am I done working for Trey for the week? I think that's fine. I think that's perfectly acceptable. He said 10 hours this week. I've put in more than 10. Regardless of if he said, don't work on the weekends, I did. And so ethically speaking, I feel fine not picking up any more hours for the rest of the week. So for him, the pay period, I guess, would be, Saturday to Friday. So I guess I'm just justifying why I feel okay in not working for him for the rest of the week. Even though I am, because I still want to work on this check-in tracker, I feel fine not. So the reason why I say that is because 2 hours, or 3 hours with Mina, 2 hours with Dawson, I'm good. That's my day. It's my work day. Everything else can be PT Dom and myself. And I would love to get some more hours with PT Dom in. My goal, honestly, would be 3 hours a day, every day, because that's 21 hours a week. And that would be 90 to 93 hours a month. And that is a payout of $2,500. And that would just be awesome to have. Because if I just did that for 2 months, which doesn't seem that hard, I just think that perfect example, if I just wake up 5:30, from 5:30 to 9, which is what I've seemingly been starting work lately, it's 3.5 hours. There's my PT Dom money right there. So if I did that for 2 months, that's an extra $5,000 in my pocket, and $5,000 I think would pay off. I think I have $10,000 in student loans. Have we even talked about the exact amounts of that? Can we check right now? Why don't we check the student loan status right now? My payments are like $40 a month. And that would be awesome to not pay anymore. But I'm just not. The way that I see all this, and I talked about it 2 episodes ago, if I was $1 million in debt and I only had to pay $20 a month, I don't see that as a problem. If it was $1 million in debt and $100,000 a month, that's a fucking problem, bro. I can't afford that. We got to get rid of that shit. On a much smaller scale, if I have $5,000 in debt and the payment is $50 versus $10,000 in debt and the payment is $40, well, then obviously I don't give a fuck about the $10,000 one because, this is not loading, because it's cheaper to save more money. That's what it is. If I can pay less money to save more per month, I'm going to do that. Yeah, it's not loading. I don't know. We'll figure it out another time. But I'm pretty sure that I have 5,000 in. Now, don't butcher me. I feel like I'm going to get these. I feel like I have $5,000 in subsidized loans, then $5,000 in unsubsidized loans, or whatever the categories are. I don't know. Can you hear the Rubik's Cube? Yeah, you for sure can. Just been cubing it up. Dude, I'm actually kind of quick with it. Like, that was like 10, 12 moves. Dude, I'm the fucking man, dude. I got to figure out how to put this back together. Fucked it up. We'll solve it later. Anyway, so yeah, doing this for a couple months would definitely free up from some student loan debt. That would free up the monthly revenue for sure. But I don't know. It's just never a bad thing to have more money coming in for work that I'm already doing. Some of the stuff I am doing for PT Dom, I'm absolutely. Let's just solve this while. I'm going to solve the Rubik's Cube while I do a show. That's what I'm going to do. If some of the stuff I'm going to be doing for PT Dom is, I fucking put that in the wrong spot. I just don't think, and they were right about it, but I just don't think that some of the stuff I'll be doing for them will be really transferable to other coaches. Just because, not because like I can't, just like there's no need. Like what I'm building for them, I just no other coach would need. But I think the thing that I don't know. I think it's just the framework of the thing that they're looking for, or that I guess I can't do a Rubik's Cube and do the show at the same time. I'm trying. Let's just keep trying. So if they want a certain tracker, that's fine. But the tracker that I'd build for them would probably not be applicable for any other coaches. But the framework would be. So, and this is how I came across that tracker for Trey, is he wanted a weekly check-in tracker for his clients. And so I was like, well, I actually already built something that can do exactly that for PT Dom. So why don't I just build that exact thing for you? And then bada bang. And it works. And it's, I'm actually excited to work on that. So tomorrow, that's probably going to be the first thing that I work on. And I'm really pumped about that. And for the record, I only have yellow left to do on the Rubik's Cube. I used to be so fast with this shit. So, am I good? Nope. But, yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is I made one thing for one coach. And because it does one thing, I can, I guess just change the names, change the tags or whatever you want to call it. So that way I can use it for multiple things, different things. It's kind of like the habit tracker that I made in Google Sheets. And then now it became the compliance tracker for MDM and 10K. Oh, here we go. There we go. Rubik's Cube is solved. First time ever doing a Rubik's Cube, talking on a podcast in Utah, sitting at my desk talking about Notion templates, for sure. First one to ever do that. Bam, bitch. Like, for real, that's the first time anybody on planet Earth has ever heard somebody talking about Notion templates with weekly coaching tracker bullshits, solve Rubik's Cube while recording a podcast. First time ever. You guys are the first people ever in the history of the world to hear that shit. And also, drink a severed lime liquid death sparkling water with the right hand. First ones ever in the world. And that person also drives a Tesla. First one ever. Anyway, so hopefully what I said made sense. I think I could summarize what I said very quickly. One thing that I build for PT Dom, even if I can't use it for another coach, I can use the framework for, and that right there is valuable because I spent time making that for PT Dom, and therefore I can kind of save time making it for another coach. And also if I can incorporate it into the main project, then even better. Bam. So there's all that. So I do have a lot more things that I want to add into this big system. And the more I think about it, I just don't think it'll be done by the end of August. I don't know when it will be, but I gotta draw that line. And I also don't think I need to rush it. I don't think it needs to be done by a certain time. I think I need to have some urgency to get it done sooner than later. But I don't think having this fake urgency that it has to be done by a certain date, I don't think it's beneficial. I think what's beneficial is saying, okay, I'm going to start this mini project. It's going to be done in the next 3 days. And then just do that 20 times. There's 20 systems now, and it only took me 2 months, rather than maybe I only got 5 systems done in those 2 months because I didn't have the real urgency to get each thing done. So I think that's a good way to put it. Rather than having deadline urgency, I think maybe it's better to have. Well, here's a better way. Rather than having macro urgency, I think it's better to have micro urgency, meaning it's better to have tight deadlines on the day to day rather than the decade to decade or the year to year. Sometimes I think I say some shit on the show and I'm like, God damn, dude, that's pretty good. Other times I'm like, what is going on? But yeah, going back to the mean thing, I'm going to for sure do that tomorrow. Set up a couple different databases and just go through it and have everybody pitch in and do what they need to do. I'm going to set every client up with every team member up with a group of 30 clients or something like that. Like I said, I'm going to open it up so that they see all the empty fields that they need to fill in, and then we'll just go from there, and then everybody can just fill it in. And now maybe 30 is too much. I don't know. But, well, right now there's 153. Dude, see, that's the fucking problem. Here we go again. There's 153 people that I have in Notion. And at the time of this recording, there's 193 people in Everfit. Now, maybe 10 of those are dummies. So there's 30 people missing. What's going on? Now, if I go to the spreadsheet, how many people are missing from the spreadsheet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's quite a bit. Oh, yeah, found them. All right, we're good. Hell yeah, dude, I found them. No, I didn't. There's a lot of people that I don't know, dude. There's 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so maybe there's a good amount. Maybe there is. At the time of this recording, every time I open up Google Sheets, I get a thing that says introducing timelines. You want to learn more? And it says got it. Do you want to learn more? And the options are got it or learn more. All right. Hey man, how you doing? Got it. So dumb, dude. But anyway, where was I going with all that? I don't know. Well, I think we'll just leave that there. So got the Unbed thing working for Mina tomorrow. I had a Zoom call with Dawson. I'll play that at the end of this show. I always forget to do that, but yeah, it's coming at the end of this show. I just opened the voice memos app on my phone, saw it wasn't recording, shit my pants, then looked at my computer and saw it was recording. Dude, the last few episodes have been long as hell for no other reason than I just have a lot to say, I guess. So that's cool, I guess. I'm very glad Dawson didn't talk to me about, hey man, how's you get some more time in your schedule for you? I'm glad we didn't go that route because I'm glad we was able to look inward and talk about some stuff. Let me just read this. Hi, Bryson. Make with Notion, our annual conference. Make with Notion, our annual conference is back and bigger than ever. Join us September 18th in San Francisco for days of keynotes, demos, and intimate conversations about AI and the tools of tomorrow with the people who shape them. For a limited time, we're offering a special invitation for like-minded builders. Use code to get 50% off your ticket. You'll hear creative director explain how design is a force for better living. This stuff's really cool, but this is me being arrogant. I feel like when you reach a certain point, you just have to know when to just not that I would go to this thing at all, because it's not even anywhere near me. But let's say it was down in Salt Lake. Would I go to this? This is just a thing for Notion builders, perspectives from operators, COO of whatever, another creative director for another company. And it's all things Notion. And so that's very cool. But there's just, so the average user of Notion is not building what I'm building, for sure. They need to cater to the masses of their market so that they can help the most people, because that's how business makes money in their niche, right? There's going to be an extreme on both ends. And I would say, I don't want to say I'm an extreme Notion user, but I feel like some of the stuff I'm building is pretty fucking complex. On that note, I found what I thought was an error inside one of the formulas in the calculations. And I was like, holy fuck, how did I miss this? I went down the rabbit hole of trying to fix it. Turns out it was never an error. And I already accounted for the dozen different variables that were there. And I already figured it out. But because I forgot that I even figured it out, I thought that I was dumb. So like, I'm making shit that I don't even understand. Like I'm creating things that I don't know what the fuck is happening, but it works. And I don't know if that makes me a dumbass or if that makes me a genius. I don't care either way. But getting back to what I was saying with Notion, if they're having a goddamn expo about it, or an expo, what is this? I don't know, a conference? There's no way they're going to sit up there and talk in front of, 10,000 people about how to make super ultra mega complex things when people probably go there to just network and learn about, intermediate shit. And so for me to go there, I know I would learn stuff. However, it wouldn't be for what I'm doing 100%. Maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, it's all good. But I don't know. It's kind of like if you were to go to some kind of fitness conference or expo when all it is teaching people who don't go to the gym how to get the motivation to go. It's like, yeah, that might be a great refresher. I don't know, might make you think, might change your perspective, but ultimately that's invaluable to you, because if you've been going to the gym for 10 years, no problem, you don't apply to that category. So I don't know. Long-winded analogy or example, whatever. I'm going to share one more thing, and I'm going to go to bed. And that thing is, went to Costco with Lexi today, and it was a good time. And we went down every aisle, looked at pretty much everything. And one of the things that I enjoyed the most, this might sound dumb, is we looked at this couch. It's couch, Costco, they've got the couches assembled and you can sit on them, test them out, chairs, whatever. And we went and sat down on this couch. And my first thought, is, oh shit, if we're going to live together, if we're going to be living together, this is something that is now a consideration to purchase. Now, she's already got a couch and we don't need one. But I mean, if you've listened to the show long enough, I've never owned a couch, never owned my own TV, never owned my own kitchen table. I don't need that shit. I have a rug. In my living room, there's a rug. That's it. And that's all I've ever had. I've been in 4 of my own places. I've never had anything in the living room. I've had a desk. I now have a whiteboard. I have a couple shelves. And I have an air mattress. I sleep on a bed, but the air mattress is more like a couch kind of thing in my office space, so that if I don't want to look at a screen, I can just go sit there. But anyway, now a couch being something that is a purchase that makes sense, it's like, well, I like this. This would be cool. There's a nice spot to cuddle here. If we have guests over, there's plenty of room for, 2 more couples if we had game night. I don't know. And that's what goes through my head. And then I see the price tag, and this couch is, I think it's $1,300. And I think previously I would have been like, oh, yeah, okay, eat my ass. But now I'm like, oh, I could buy 3 of these with one sale. Now, I haven't even made one sale yet, but I guess I'm just confident that I will be able to do that. And so now my whole perspective is shifted from, God damn, $1,300 for couch. See, I don't need one. This is some horseshit. I have a computer chair and it does the same thing. I'm fine. It went from that to now, dude, I could buy 4 of these with one sale, you know? And then the feeling of, I would love to be able to just, not that I'm trying to spoil anybody and not that I'm trying to spoil Lexi, but if there is something that would look great in our living room or a piece of furniture that would complete the look or a whatever, I just would love to be able to say, hey, are you sure? Because we're going to buy this right now, if so. And then just not even worry about it. And when I thought about it like that, it made me want to work even harder because I'm like, I would love to just, I don't want to have to, this is how it's been my whole life. If I want something, it's like, fuck, I'll, a couple paychecks go by, I'll probably have enough. Or if it's something bigger, it's like, fuck, I'll have to save for that but maybe I'll get a credit card for that. That's what I did. But that's how it's been my whole life. So I get that. But now I think I'm just confident in what's happening in the future, that I would just love the ability to say, yeah, we need some more furniture. We need this. And then rather than having to put it off for months to save money or whatever, we can just get in the car now and go grab the things, bring it back, set it up, and good to go. And then, with that, not go into a store and say, fuck, we only have X amount of money. We can either get this thing or we can get a couple of these things. What should we do first? What's the priority? So rather than that, I would love it to be, just grab everything, it'll be a hit to the bill, but we'll make it back tomorrow. What a fucking dream that would be. And so all of these things were racing through my head while I'm sitting on this couch. And meanwhile, with Lexi and I are just bouncing on it. I'm like, this is pretty comfortable, I was like, come test it out. Come snuggle. Let's see what it would be like if we were, And she came and sat down. This is all running through my head. And then we stand up and I'm like, dude, this is so fucking sick. I would love to be able to just. And that's what I told Lexi. I was like, babe, one sale, I could buy 3 of these. I could 4 of these things, And I would just love to be able to do that. Also, I'm getting a shit ton of ads for American Express, gold cards, blue cards, green cards, plum cards. I already have 15 credit cards, my boy. That's no exaggeration either. Isn't that funny? Anyway, so there's some inspiration that I took from a couch today at Costco. Not to mention, cumulatively, we spent almost $1,000 at Costco today. So that's great. So we both loaded up on a whole bunch of shit. We actually got never mind. I'm going to leave it there. So that's all I got today. So that was a longer one, and it's actually still not even done. We got the Zoom call with Dawson now. So what the fuck is this? I just got an email. Client access to your Cloudflare Firebase BT-DOM tracker expired 63 days ago. I just got an email that said it expired 63 days ago. Thanks for the heads up, dude. All right, here's the Zoom call with Dawson, and then that's the show.
What's up?
What's up, dude?
How you doing?
Doing good, dude. Changing these the currency. That's ridiculous.
Oh no.
No, I mean it's so easy. It's just 12 clicks per each. Yeah, it's fine. It's just there's so many.
Oh, sick. What I'm going to do, too, is if the closers sell a 300, 400, 500 US monthly, just get them to go into Stripe and see what the actual Canadian conversion is and put it in there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, how's your weekend?
Everything's good, man. Yeah. Yeah, just hung out, just did a whole bunch of this. Yeah, everything's good, dude. How was yours?
Sick, yeah, same. It was really, really slow over here, which is nice. We got our new apartment, so we're moving in September 1st. It's dope. Emily really wanted this really big place, even though we're 2 bed, 2 bath is more than enough for us, but we got a 3 bed plus den, 2 bed, or 2 bath. So it's large, but it's right in the middle of Kelowna, which is dope. like right in town, close to everything, close to Brian's gym.
Very cool.
Close to friends. Yeah, so we're pretty excited. We're just getting stuff ready for that, getting new furniture, getting the movers set up and all that. Because, we have to move. It's like a 7 to 8 hour travel day to get here if you're driving from Vancouver Island. Mm-hmm. It's only a 45-minute flight, but since we live on the island, we have to take a 2-hour ferry to Vancouver. Then it's 3.5, sometimes 4.5 hour drive all the way to Kelowna from Vancouver. So it'll be a fun month.
No, I'm sure you're super pumped about it though.
Yeah, I'm stoked, dude. We lived here for 2 years here in Kelowna, and then we moved back to the island, because that's where me and Emily both grew up. So we're close to family and stuff back there. We were there for just over a year, maybe a year and a half now, and we were wanting to come back here. So I'm pumped. I love it here in Kelowna. It's amazing.
I'm assuming Emily's your wife, girlfriend?
Girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Very cool, dude. I'm actually moving with my girlfriend this coming October, so a month behind you, or ahead. Yeah, behind you.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah, stoked.
Right on, man. So, cool. Let me show you what I got.
Okay. So you just wanted to kind of go over everything so that you know how to use what's available. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Okay. So here's how I've done this, and I think I might have done this wrong. Okay. Sorry, Zoom just has all these buttons everywhere.
Oh, you're good. I can only see Notion right now, so I can't see anything else.
Okay, perfect. So I go through here to individual business expenses, right? And then I put in all the shit that I have here.
You can absolutely do it that way, but that was not so those what you clicked on, those are actually going to be hidden because those are the main files. So in case that gets deleted, like everything's fucked. So I'm just trying to hide those. But
okay.
Yeah, you can do it that way. There's no wrong way. You can do it this way. What you see right now it looks 10 times worse. Maybe that's why you were confused, dude, because this is not it right here.
So if it's easier, then that'd be fucking sick. So I pretty much just like put in each thing individually, the category, all that stuff.
Yeah. If you want, go back one page and then just scroll down until you see just go down. Wait, hold on. Dude, that looks way different. Hold on. What's going on here? You don't see. Interesting. Okay, go up a little bit. Go up. Or wait, maybe go. Okay, right there. What in the world, dude? Wait, go all the way up. The very, very top. Oh my gosh, dude. Okay, go down just a little bit more. I just remembered. Click that little drop down right there. That one right there. Yep. Fuck. There you go. Yeah. Okay. So, and if you minimize the sidebar, I don't know if you prefer that or not. It'll open it up so everything's a little bit bigger on the far left there. There you go. I mean, I don't know if you prefer to have that open or not, but it just makes the screen bigger. But there you go. That's what.
Yeah, this is clean.
Yeah, that's much cleaner. When you sent me that screenshot, I was like, oh man, he's in the wrong. I mean, there's no wrong way, dude. It's just This only shows what you need. So this is polished off.
Okay, fucking 6. Then I can see all the percentages of everything.
Yeah,
and the cat. Yeah, this is great, dude. This is really helpful.
Yeah, and then you can see those tabs. So it says total categories, and then 2 more. That's what it says up there, right underneath the purple. Yeah, so if you click categories, yep, it'll show. That's where this shows every category, so you can go and rename them and change the icon whatever you want. And then if you go. So you can do that right now if you want. I noticed that that yellow one still had the yellow book, So if you want to keep that, you can. But you just click the emoji, you can change it.
I can change that later on. Cool.
And then if you click the next one, so it's a graph, should be a bar chart, but yeah, that'll show you the category totals.
Dude, this is sick.
I'm glad, dude. Yeah,
cool.
That's what I was saying, dude. I felt bad because you wanted this, but I was like, this is not done yet, though. So.
But is this pretty much done now?
So what you're looking at right here, this is, I would say, this is good. But everything else, it's just such a mess. And so there's that view too. I mean, it's just I don't like that, but maybe you do. So.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So question for you, Bryson, is we go over here. So we have like Everfit, that's in everything, Notion. So things like the setter placement here, that's like part of mentorship. so I'm not paying for this anymore. Because then if we go to yearly cost total, like, is there a way that we could adjust that? That's like a one-off.
Yeah, I think
one-off category.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll just make another tab. So if you click on the same thing on the left side where it says expenses, there's like a totals graph, date graph, all that stuff. I don't know if you've looked at that yet. So far left, right there. Click that. There's all these. So I can make one of these for one-offs.
Oh, okay, sick. That would be. Then it's just still going to add into the biz expense, but without having the totals or the cost. I mean,
yeah, I'd have to like work around with like how that math works, because everything right now is based on monthly. So if I just add in a one-off, then it would be interesting because it wouldn't go into the monthly business health tracker because it's a one thing. So I'd hold on. So I'd have to make. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. That's actually kind of complex, but I could for sure do that.
It'd be fine if it doesn't go to business health, just because I don't count like obviously with business expenses, all that stuff that I see. I don't count like mentorships, one-offs. Like if I pay Brian in full, I know that's like a one-time thing. So that's totally fine if it doesn't go into like business health. Where can I see that too, by the way?
What are you looking for?
A section for business health.
So so how it's laid out right now is, so if you go all the way up to where it was purple, that big purple bar, keep going. So that's right there. So that one right there that's going to be hidden because we don't need to see that, but that is where everything goes. And then if you go down below all metrics, there's that save button. That, if you can click it right now just to see what it does, and then just Control Z. So if you click it, it's going to put everything in a manual view down here or down there. Sorry, I'm like moving my mouse like you can see it. But that puts it into everything else, and then that's when it is no longer automated. It's saved for a month view, so you can go back and look at the last month and the previous month. So
oh shit, is there a way to make this July?
Actually, so right now you can just change the name. If those numbers are July numbers, then yeah, you're good. But right now it only calculates the current month. So the second that it becomes August, it no longer is tracking July stuff. So that's why you have to click a button in July. There are ways to automate it, but I'm trying to figure that out because I'd have to change the time zone, set the automation, undo the time zone, and then make sure. Yeah, you can't make it go off on the last day of the month, only the first day of the month. So I'd have to change the time zones to like the furthest one back for that automation only. Yeah, anyway, it's a whole mess, but you just have to click that button. I can go in
and just adjust things too, right? Like I can go through.
Yeah. So that's actually the whole idea is like if there's anything wrong, you can just go in there and manually change it. You don't have to worry about screwing anything up. So, if you want to add in a certain expense, you can just add in, $2,000 or whatever. So that one's automatic. So that one's based on totals from Stripe, PayPal, and e-transfer.
Okay, sick. And then I can just go into, where was it here?
What were you looking for?
This one. Yeah. All income, so I can change this.
Yep.
What was it? It was 99.
I got it. 99017.97.
Okay, sick. This just helps me take a look at things at like a glance.
Yeah.
The expense is good.
Yeah, the whole idea is that you have, 12 months worth, and you can just, there's going to be graphs and charts and stuff for every month from the past. And so, I don't know, if you use this for 10 years, dude, just imagine. That's so sick,
Yeah, all the data. I'm very data driven, so this is very helpful. Okay, and then I guess. So has this been all? This is all completed now too.
Yeah. So don't use the red one. So I'm gonna have to remove that entirely. But the blue one is good to go. So that's what we'll use. This is all linked up. Everything's the same.
Beautiful. And then it goes to onboarding.
Yeah, I haven't removed that other one to not use it because I'm going to transfer that info from that sheet to the current sheet just so it's all plugged in and it's as if nothing happened,
This one?
Oh, sorry, I meant the form that. So there's two forms technically right now. The one that was red, it says do not use me. I don't know if you saw that just barely, but I'm going to remove that one after I transfer everything just to make sure there's no missing data, It's like, oh, we filled that out,
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. And then this is just client finances.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is where we'll find when we do renew a client, they'll get put into this.
Yeah, so if you go to all clients on that tab there, yep. I can show you how to use this, but you'll just click that re-sign button after you fill out the things to the right of it. So if you just scroll over to the right, you're just going to fill those out for the new program. And then you go to that button that says re-sign, and you'll click that. It puts a new entry to the financials. So you log that. And I know you're going to do it manual, but that's just how it's set up. And then it also logs them into a renewals database. So you have a history of who renewed when for how much, starting when, with what payment option, with what package, and who did it, what time they did it. Yeah.
Cool. That makes sense. Then, okay, I guess this would be an important one. So the follow-ups for us to take a look and see who we have to go in and renew at like 4 weeks in. Did we pitch? Yes, no. 12 weeks in, did we pitch? Yes, no. 20 weeks in, did we pitch? Yes, no.
Yeah, so this one's actually for the extension date, like from the extension date. I haven't made the one that's the 4, 12, 20 after they've signed. Okay. But that should be a simple one because would be the base. I would just change the dates. So that should be a quick one, but yeah. Cool. And if you don't even need that, dude, we can totally get rid of it. It's just one of the things that I've built, so.
I don't think we'll need that one. I think the 4, 12, 21 will be a lot more useful.
Okay, cool.
Because then it'll just because then it's just less for my coaches. I want them to be on top of a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is just where I can see everyone's hours tracked.
Yeah, so this is, so BBL hours, that's for you. Ideally, like, that's your view. That's your eyes only. The clock in, clock out is filtered so that each individual person can only see their own thing. Now, if somebody wanted to, they could unfilter it and see everybody's, but I don't know.
Yeah, this looks good to me.
Cool. Yeah, and then just every time you get a new client or a new employee, you just go there, change their name, add their name, whatever, and then there's no limit. They just used all the score emojis, so you can add more.
Cool. And I can just put them in. Yeah, so I can do all the hourly employees, put them in here. Hourly rate. That's 6. Then it calculates that as well. Cool.
Yeah, I know you pay per 15 days, and it's just we'd have to add so much more of like what their set schedule is and how many days they work per 15 days, and then like sometimes it's different, because sometimes there's 2 weekends or 3 weekends, so that's just a whole mess. So I figured a week and a month or bi-weekly would be fine. But if you really want
this is fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this works. This is great.
And obviously all the names are fake, so you'd have to go back in and change them. But
yeah, this is fine. I can get working on this today.
Okay, if you want, you can give me that info and I can do it for you.
Sick. Yeah, I can send that over to you then. That's perfect.
Okay. Yeah, just a big doc, I guess, of everybody, their position, pay, salary, close rate, all that stuff. Yeah.
Beauty. Okay, cool. So I guess you're still working on Biz Health, finishing that stuff up.
Yeah, this is a massive thing, dude. So if you want me to just work on it a little bit and then go to one thing and come back working on a little, it just became so huge so quick.
How easy would it be to get the renewal one up and running?
The 4, 12, 20 thing?
Yeah, per client.
That I don't want to speak too soon. I think that would be simple, though. Let me look at it real quick, because I would just change. So you want it to be based off of when they start. So they start on, for example, January 1st. They're going to be put in the system on February 1st, because that's technically January 28th, because that's 4 weeks after they started. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
That should be a simple one, because everything's already pretty much here. I would just rework it. So I would say like a day or two.
Cool. If we could pause on this for now and then just get that going. The only reason I say this is because if we're able to get the renewal thing up and running, my coaches can take a look at that. We could probably start making some more cash back end.
Okay, cool.
Which is the biggest priority. And then once that's dialed in, then we'll get back to the Biz Health. Then we'll do the other things and just go from there.
Okay. If you go into the renewal follow-ups, the one with the stoplight icon, do you like how this is laid out? So that table, you won't even need to see that table. You only see that. Now, it looks, okay, so I'm going to have to probably move things around. It looks kind of squished on your screen. So Do you like that look though? Because you're going to have a button that says done. I don't know if you can see it on your screen. Hold on, let me see if I can do something really quick. Turn into. So what you would see would be. Okay, maybe I can't do it then. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, I guess I can't. But for what I see is I see their name, how many days left they have, and then there's a button where you click done, and then that just submits in the system that whoever followed up with them, the time. Can you see that if you scroll over? Oh, see on my screen, their button for done is there, so maybe I guess not. But so if you open up that table, the one that you just closed at the very top, renewal follow-ups, then table. Yep, you got it. If I were to click on Leanne, if I click done, you'll see that it puts my name. So whoever clicks that, so like if I'm following up with them, I followed up with them at this time, and and I can put like a note section if you want of what happened or what they said, and then they go away from the blue one. So if you scroll down and look at the blue chart, so if I click done, they go away, and then they pop up at the top. So that's how that would work and how we make sure. And it's all filtered so nobody can fall through the cracks either. I wish you could see what I see. It's a little squish. I'm sorry, but.
It's all good, man. And then I guess they get the emoji when they're in a certain one as well, hey?
Yeah, so if you. So right now it's set to be the orange when it's 60 days, the little caution sign when it's 30, the stop sign when it's 2 weeks, and then a red X when they've expired. But obviously it would be different if it's for renewing after they've signed. So,
cool. Yeah, I think if we can make this a priority.
Yeah, of course.
And then I could roll this out to my coaches and then show them kind of what you've showed me today, but just going through hitting done. Because I guess they could just do this, and then there's no done button in here.
Well, at the very bottom where it says 4 more properties, right there. Yeah, right.
4 more. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So there's the done button, but there's one for each one, so that's why it's laid out. Yeah, it's squished, so that's good to know, dude. That is very good to know. Yeah, because I can see everything. Maybe I guess my screen's bigger. I don't know. I'll have to take that into consideration, dude.
Yeah, maybe there's something that I missed somewhere. Yeah, this is great. This is awesome.
Okay, cool. I'm excited to see this actually being used, dude, because I spent a lot of time building it, so actually seeing it being used, that's pretty sweet.
I want to use it all. I want to use it as much as we can too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the renewal thing, big priority right now. Then from there, biz health again, and then after that, we'll chat about the videography one. It should be super easy. It's just pretty much I want like a graph of this month, this many views, this many posts. This is the engagement rate.
Yeah.
The next month or weeks, months.
Yeah, that should be really straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then with that 4, 12, 20 week thing, is there anything specific that it needs to do other than set a reminder 4 weeks, 12 weeks, 20 weeks to message that client for the intent of a renewal?
I think just if we are able to make the reminders, go over to our Slack, if possible, that would be the best thing.
Okay. I think so. I think I talked to you about that. There's only so much you can do with an automated Slack message. Something has to happen in order for a message to be sent out. So if it's just like time ticking, I don't think it will work that way.
Okay,
so.
yeah. That should be fine. Then I can get I can get Rayanne to go in and hit a button that'll then send a notification.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can make it so when a button is clicked, it'll send a list of clients to the Slack channel. I think. I'm pretty sure. But yeah.
Sick. Let's see if we can make that happen. Other than that, I'm super clear. I appreciate you showing me all that stuff in the Biz Health one too. Very helpful for me. Mm-hmm. So to recap for you, Bryson, we want the extensions for the renewal thing first.
That's top priority.
Next, that's top priority. Next would be the one-off for expenses inside Biz Health, and then fixing whatever else you have left in Biz Health and expenses and all that whole tracker after renewals is done. Then after that one, it will be the content content graph, content page, analytics, all that stuff, which we can talk about again to get more clarity on for you.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think it would be better if we talk about it again when we get there for sure.
Yeah. Well, feeling clear?
Yeah, we're good.
Amazing. Awesome, bro. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I think we're good, man. Yeah, I think we're good. The only, I guess, concern I have would be like, with only 2 hours per day, like when I say it takes multiple days, like it's just with a given time. So as long as still cool with that, then yeah, no problem.
Yep. Yeah, I'm good with it. If you do an extra hour or something, just let me know.
Well, I try to cap it just right there. I don't want to have to be like, well, actually on this day, I just want to, it's so much easier to keep track of time. Like when I send you that screenshot, so.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I'm fine with it. It takes as long as it needs. It's all good. I know over time this is going to be a beast that's just flowing in
for sure, dude.
Properly. So, yeah.
Cool.
Awesome,
yeah.
Bro. If you have any questions, shoot me a text. And hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And we will talk soon.
Cool. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Gotcha. Peace, bro.
See you later.